Hello, welcome back to Theme Park Wizard, and we have some crazy, or not crazy, but good news in my opinion. Cedar Fair has updated us today that they have declined the offer, Six Flags' offer for purchasing, and yes, it was the entire chain. It wasn't just a couple of parks; it was the entire chain. Um, here, which is quite that's crazy because the price they put was very undervalued in my opinion. Six Flags offered us cash in stock $4 billion offer to buy the entire chain of Cedar Fair parks. That includes the four biggest ones: Knott's Berry Farm, Cedar Point, Carowinds, and Canada's Wonderland. And to think that just those four parks plus the other, like about seven or so in the chain, are only $4 billion is quite insane. As I believe Cedar Point and Knott's Berry Farm leased together $4 billion alone. So the fact that Six Flags want to pay $4 billion for the whole thing is almost disrespectful, in my opinion. They thought Cedar Fair was only $4 billion. Like, that is disrespectful. Disrespectful. Considering, I mean, obviously these are parks with a lot more money, but Disney Star Wars Galaxy that's just $1 billion by itself. So that's crazy that they think Cedar Fair is worth just four Star Wars lands, basically. And $6 billion for Universal Studios Beijing as well. So, I mean, crazy how they've evaluated. Yes, again, those are more destination parks, not regional parks, but it's crazy how they valued those, Six Flags valued those parks. So I'm glad Cedar Fair rejected it. They also commented that Cedar Point isn't going anywhere. In the Ohio Times or Sandusky Times, one of those newspapers, I said Cedar Point isn't going anywhere, which is great. Knott's Berry Farm is staying the same and will continue to have great investment and great theming and not any change of ownership. But that doesn't mean Cedar Fair can't sell off some of its underperforming parks, like, say, Michigan Adventure. Michigan Adventure is a small Cedar Fair park that doesn't really get a lot of, attention. Yeah. So it's possible they can sell off one or two of their smaller parks to Six Flags, not for $4 billion, but maybe for $1 billion or so, or a few hundred million. Maybe $1 billion for two smaller parks, $500 million piece, and the places where Six Flags doesn't have any presence and Cedar Fair just doesn't invest in the parks, so they can get rid of them and make it. I'm like a compromise. You can't buy my entire chain, but you can have some of my underperforming parks, and it actually may benefit those parks because, again, Cedar Fair doesn't usually invest in smaller parks usually as much as the bigger ones. Where Six Flags, that is one good thing about Six Flags, they do invest usually a new ride or something almost every year, or at least every other year, in every one of their parks, even no matter how small or big they are. So that could be a good thing if they buy a couple of smaller Cedar Fair parks, especially where they don't have a presence. But like Michigan, I don't know if Six Flags has a presence in Michigan, but if they buy Michigan's Adventure, they would have a presence in Michigan, and Michigan's Adventure would be probably renamed Six Flags Michigan or something, and have a bigger or be able to get some more new rides, more investment, and maybe Six Flags want to buy some more land around and put a hotel or more park space. Which comes to my next point. $4 billion, I know some of it was stock, but at least the cash part of the $4 billion, let's say maybe $2 billion. Let's say half was cash. Now, if let's say they spend $1 billion on buying two Cedar Fair parks, fine, you have $1 billion left. Why not invest that into your current parks? I mean, think about it. These parks only spend only $100 to $200 million each year, each season on new things. They should spend $1 billion, or $4 billion on, whether it be new hotels at parks, like Six Flags Magic Mountain became 365-day operation to be potentially become like a resort destination, potentially get a hotel added on there. The feature that was publicly stated in their plans. It was even all over the news when it became 365-day operation a couple of years ago. So add some hotels to their parks, make them destinations. Also add new rides, obviously, but also add some more theming. Use $1 billion to, of course, not just the bigger ones that match, but I mean all of your parks. It doesn't take a lot to add just some theming, some cleaning, some paint jobs on the coasters. Like Ninja has a really old coaster. It's rusting. Just paint it a little bit. That's what Six Flags should do. But just $1 billion to spread it across all our parks, even the ones in Mexico and Canada, and just kind of freshen up the parks to make them look like Cedar Fair parks. Um, and that would be fantastic. That's what they need to do since they got declined. And again, you can $1 billion, then take another couple billion, buy a couple of Cedar Fair parks if they allow it. Not use that billion on hotels and just making your parks into resorts. So comment below, guys. What do you guys think about this whole thing? Are you glad Cedar Fair rejected the offer? Comment your thoughts below, and have a great, fantastical, magical day.